what is your dream Super Bowl 60, which we all know is at Levi's this year in Santa Clara, Damon's favorite stadium. What is your dream Super Bowl Sunday scenario? Who wants to go first?
Well, first of all, that the game gets moved to Las Vegas or New Orleans. That would be the truest dream. Or maybe you just bring it over. They can't use Levi Stadium that day. Bring it over to the best football stadium in the Bay. Bring it to Berkeley. Have them play in Strawberry Canyon. That's a gorgeous place to play a football game. The dream would be that the 49ers are in the game.
Okay.
Playing anybody but the Kansas City Chiefs. There you go. That's the dream, I think, here in the Bay Area. Niners host a Super Bowl that Patrick Mahomes is attending in a luxury box with Taylor Swift, not playing it.
That's so there's so many Niner fans going. Yes.
So
I want to there without freaking Mahomes. Okay.
So I want to say two things to that. I had my own that I circled, and frankly, if you're looking at the thumbnail over it, Thinking Out Loud, Siciliano and Sam, you'll know exactly where I'm going. But I want to push back to Damon's point in one way, because as an Eagles fan, it just happened. The Niners playing the Chiefs in Santa Clara in the Super Bowl and winning that game would actually be the sweetest. In other words, if your dream extended, if you didn't have to wake up to pee in the middle of your dream, that would truly be it, right? Your dream realized all the way would truly be getting that ultimate payback. The Eagles lost to the Chiefs 2 years ago in the Super Bowl and then beat the shit out of them in the Super Bowl recently. Trust me, as an Eagles fan, that is something you cannot even describe, because what you're thinking going into that game is, here we go again. And for the Niners, it's 2 times that way. But to actually do it would be epic. But I'm going to paint a nightmare here for the Niners, which is they're in the game, and on the other side is the team that did beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. Jim Harbaugh, former best friend to Niners fans everywhere. Jim Harbaugh brings his Chargers, who have beaten the Chiefs on their way to get there, to the Super Bowl. And in Levi's, a stadium where he said, no, we don't want to be on this side of the field. Whatever you're planning, no, we're going to do it totally different because the sun's going to be in our eyes, and I don't like that. In the stadium that he helped design for the home team, Jim Harbaugh beats the 49ers with his new team in a Super Bowl in Santa Clara. The ultimate, for those of you that hate or love Shanahan, for whatever you thought of Harbaugh, to see, again, we've seen Harbaugh against his brother. That was adorable. That was cute, but we had seen it on Thanksgiving years before. The idea that Harbaugh does it in a city where, by the way, I think Jim Harbaugh should be beloved in the Bay Area for what he did for this franchise. What he was able to do with Alex Smith, those years with Kaepernick were epic. Harbaugh with another team beating the Niners. That, to me, that is a dream buildup. And I'm sorry to make it a nightmare, but I think Chargers winning that game would be epic.
Okay.
That's Jed York's nightmare.
Yes.
That's Jed York's nightmare.
Yes.
And Jed will be tweeting after that. Okay. I've got this is my scenario, and it's an awesome one. The Niners have a little bit of a bump in the road kind of a year because they do have a lot of young players. So they aren't the number 1 seed. They, in fact, have to go on the road. Right. And what do they get? They get the Rams in the first round, but it's Jimmy G.
Love this.
Okay. It's Rams and Jimmy G. They beat Jimmy G because Jimmy G's Jimmy G. They then go and play the Eagles, who are the number 1 seed in Philadelphia, and they beat the Eagles in their backyard and take all their white trash fans and just slap them around. Eagles fans just
slow tear down my face, but we'll take it. Yes.
Just all the trashy fans that they have, just they have to go home to wherever they live and
take that, Vinny.
Yeah, seriously. Go enjoy spring training, go Phils. All right. You beat down Philly despite being like a 2-touchdown underdog. Okay. The AFC title game is Chiefs Chargers at Arrowhead. The Chargers unbelievably win the game with Justin Herbert, but Herbert gets knocked out. And Trey Lance comes in and finishes the game. And now it sets up a Super Bowl Sunday, Harbaugh against Shanahan, Purdy against Lance, and the Niners win the game. And everybody says it's an asterisk. It's a what if. It's like Shanahan gets his ring, but it's like it's everybody's like, well, but if Herbert had been in there, and it's a gigantic offseason of, should the Niners celebrate, or did they win because, Herbert was lost, but we get to see Purdy beat Jimmy G. We get to see Purdy beat Trey Lance. We get to see Kyle Shanahan beat Jim Harbaugh. We get the lead up to a week of, will Jed be miserable or will Jed be elated? That would be epic. Niners beat Trey Lance and Jim Harbaugh, and unfortunately, it just seems like if Shanahan's going to get that ring, it will not be clean. It will have to be some kind of, extra angst, or, you know what I mean? And that's it right there.
I want to throw in one more.
They wouldn't have beaten Stafford. They wouldn't have beaten Herbert. They wouldn't have. Hey, laugh it up.
The ring.
We got the ring.
I want to throw in one more step on the way, Larry. You set up all the games beautifully at a time, but you forgot about the NFC Championship. Beating Debo in the NFC Championship, by the way, would be pretty spectacular there, because that's what it would be, right? I mean, ultimately, so they beat Philly divisional, and then the NFC Championship is against Debo and the Commanders.
The overtime in a Commander game, and Debo drops a ball in overtime, and McLaurin scores for the Niners.
Yep. And my dream scenario: the Super Bowl goes to overtime, and Shanahan knows the rules. Wouldn't that be a lovely dream?
Oh,
Great dream.
Savage.
Oh.